Hello, welcome to another episode of Lease It, where we share stories of some of the most challenging homes or even some of the most beautiful homes where we actually lease it for record price. Yeah, my name is Alvin. I'm from JNE Capital Markets, and today we have Lucas, the head of Lease It.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
Yeah, so understand that we are going to cover, this episode, we're going to cover leasing on landed homes. So Lucas, maybe can share with us what is some of the top hooks, right? So that our viewers watching here in the first minute knows that they have to stay and watch this video.
Yeah, so this is a landed inter-terrace in the Telok Kurau area.
Very dense.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, we will share more later.
Yeah. Number 2, the landlord was a first-time landlord. So not very familiar with the culture or the tenancy agreement and things like that.
Okay.
Number 3, the tenant is a New York City real estate agent.
Wow.
Wow, the first time I heard that, I was like, oh my God, I'm against Ryan Serhan.
Yeah, immediately I thought of my image now of this tenant will be Ryan Serhan. If you continue telling the story, this will be my image in the head. Okay.
So mentally, I was really prepared. Oh, I'm going up against a giant. You know, the New York City real estate agents are known to be very aggressive. Yeah. Okay. And number 4, the landlord had a very specific requirement which made the listing very challenging. Yeah. But I'll tell you a bit more about how I conquered that a bit later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just for you guys out there, in case you're not staying around this area, right? So Telok Kurau, I think is an interesting area. Is heavily, densely populated by landed homes. So I would suppose that is actually one of the challenges that we'll be facing potentially in the market when you try to lease it out. Because even for sale wise, if you for capital markets, we track all the landed listings available for sale. I can tell you there is a lot of Telok Kurau. So leasing wise, I believe the situation is the same. However, then the good part about Telok Kurau area, this enclave, is you're talking about quite a bit of eatery.
Yeah.
And if we haven't been for the Upper Thomson line MRT, right? Now it's actually quite nice, quite convenient. Good food. And then last part of all is also schools.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, this particular listing is about 600 meters away from Marine Terrace MRT.
Oh, nice.
Less than 1 kilometer away from Town Nan Primary. It's super high competitive school.
Okay. Yeah. So were all these factors what the tenant was looking for initially?
A lot of them were. So these were some of the USPs of this particular terrace. The interesting thing about, you mentioned the inventory in the market, right? There were about 15 other comparable landed listings.
And yet we managed to lease it out.
Yes. And it was internally, it was very beautifully renovated. But outside, right, the renovation wasn't that extreme. From outside, you can't tell that it is that beautiful inside. You know, so it looks very plain.
So from outside, I won't tell that, hey, the condition looks good inside. Then I go in, it'll be like a wow factor.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, okay.
So, and interestingly, on this street, the terrace houses actually have a bigger floor plate than the semi-Ds.
Yeah,
so this,
I noticed.
Yeah, so this terrace is about 3,000-ish square feet, but the semi-D opposite would be about 2,002.
Yeah. And most of them is slightly longish format, correct?
Yeah.
Based on my knowledge of the Telok Kurau.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which made it a very interesting problem because when you listen on Property Guru and people list by semi-D or terrace, hey, this terrace house is more expensive than the semi-D.
That makes sense as well. I mean, even if we look at per square feet wise, whether is it sale or leasing side, when a land size this big goes out in the market, then this is the question of how do we position in a way that the price still is reasonable and competitive. Something attractive for the tenant to look at, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But before we go into the tenant, maybe you can tell me more. Share a little bit more context for the viewers. Like, what is the situation of the landlord? Like, how is the landlord rough profile like? Why are they actually looking to rent out this unit?
Okay, so the landlord, as I mentioned, they are a first-time landlord. They bought this landed property just end of last year, end of 2024.
Okay.
Right? And they had bought it for Town Nan because they wanted their kid to go Town Nan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes
but
sense.
right now, the kid is not of age yet, right? And the school that the kid is going to is nearer to the Newton area. Yeah, so they are staying in Newton right now. They are renting, and they bought the house first because they really liked it. Yeah. They've never stayed in the house, which actually I didn't expect would become an issue because a lot of the appliances weren't tested, like the ceiling fan, the aircon. Yeah, so when I went there the first time, I tested everything. A lot of them like weren't working. Yeah.
Wow. So basically, can I say that initially the condition looks like a moving condition, but then of course there are some fixer-upper needs to be done.
Yeah.
You have to fix some of the things in order to get things running.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And because they had just, of course, invested a lot of money into this home already, a lot of these appliances, they weren't really willing to replace. But really, you cannot deprive the tenant of like fan or aircon, right? You have to. So I really had to do a bit of assurance and convincing that don't worry, the cost won't be expensive, right? And I brought in my own handyman and things like that, and we really managed to keep costs low.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in this case, it's usually our job, right, to be able to advise on ground what do you think is effective. I mean, it probably be the same for any sales and purchase as well. Sometimes we also ask our clients to do staging or even a painting finishing so that it looks nicer and first impression is there, right? I believe this is the same for leasing side as well.
Yes. So for our marketing wise, of course, it will be very expensive to do staging for the home. A landed home, 3,000 square feet. If you want to do like physical staging, like bring on the furniture and all that, I think it will cost about 4,000 a month. It wouldn't make sense. Yeah. So of course, we do have our ways to market the home. We did virtual staging and we virtually staged every room so that the potential tenants could actually see what this home could look like living here. Yeah.
But that actually makes sense, right? Because later on, next segment, we'll cover on the tenant. But I mean, since we're on this, to me, it makes sense because your tenant, unlike landed buyers, which most of them are either locals or PRs with LDAU approval, tenants-wise, they can be from overseas. So in this case, it makes sense to have your photos online for them to see. Yeah. If not, you stage and then they fly over to Singapore to see. They better buy rent on the spot.
So the marketing did bring in a lot of viewers, but I did mention the landlord had a caveat which actually turned away a lot of tenants.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
so this particular caveat is that the landlord only wanted to rent it out for 1 year. For landed listings, it's very challenging to rent it out for only 1 year. The hassle of moving so much furniture, moving the whole family there, right, is such a big move. It's such a big hassle that people can't imagine I move here for 1 year, then I have to move out all the furniture again, right? But there was a potential for an extension because the landlord may change their mind, right? And the reason for this was I mentioned the house was 1 kilometer from Taonan. They wanted to use this to ensure their kid managed to get into Taonan Primary School.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah. But of course, it's not enough to just own the house. MOE actually requires you to stay in the house.
Right. Yeah. So for all of you who are not aware, my understanding is you need to stay at least 2 years in that address after enrolling your kids in.
Yes, correct.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. Wow, so that is an additional challenge. But I also can understand from landlord point of view is they bought the land initially to want to stay and enroll their kids as well. So probably that's the reason, right? I think the testimony of being able to lease out means you were able to find balance.
Yes. The thing is that the parents had other options for schools as well. They don't necessarily need to send the kid to Taonan. Of course, everyone have their favorite schools and their hopes that their children go to a good school. But they were eligible for other good schools as well. So they haven't made up their mind. So there is still a potential that after 1 year, the tenant could extend another year. The asking price they were asking for was, of course, higher than a semi-D and the highest in the market
Because
for
of
the
the
area.
land size, I suppose.
Yeah, because of the land size, because of the renovations, right? It's a nice home. Actually, people were willing to pay that price if it was a 2-year lease. Yeah. So the way that I managed to encourage this particular tenant to try and move into this house, right? They still wanted 2 years, but I managed to reduce the first year rent to a lower rent, closer to the market for terrace houses in the area, right? And then if there was an extension for 1 more year, we'll bump it back up
Wow, very nice.
to the higher than semi-D.
So in a way, that is like an incentive from
Yeah.
the tenant perspective, right?
Yes, so the tenant takes a bit of a risk to enjoy favorable rent for the first year. Yeah, and it's better than the landlord really leaving the house empty. Yeah.
I would like that as well. I mean, if I were to rent a place and it's a slightly more attractive rent, hey, why not, right? I'll just go in, try, and I think for me, the moment I go in and try is I'll just get rooted in it. Yeah. Well, this is also one of the many solutions that we provide when it comes to a leasing side. That's why Lucas, being the head of leasing, he is constantly on the ground, having the experience on how to tackle challenges like this. So if you are watching this and you're a landowner who is, maybe at this juncture of life, you are thinking that, hey, how should I lease out my property? Or even in this case, since I'm here, maybe I can say, should I consider selling my property, a landed home in this case, right? Do scan on the QR code over here. Yeah. And this is where you can contact us. Feel free to contact us. It's not obligatory. We will provide a proper analysis. Lucas side, if it's leasing that you're exploring, Lucas will provide you an analysis and as well as then the postulated market audience or rather a tenant pool, because as he's dabbling into this, I believe he has a lot of tenant pools. There are the network that you can tap on.
Yes. Yeah. Property Guru is not the only way to get tenants. Yes. We of course have our own ways of getting tenants from international markets. If you want to find out how, then please contact me.
Yep. So remember to scan on the QR code below. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now talking about tenant side.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe you can share a little bit more, Ryan.
Well, I wonder what happened if Ryan Serhan really showed up at the doorstep.
Can you help me with the image? Is the hairstyle, the looks and everything, is it like...
No, he's slightly older already.
Okay.
Of course, he's already in Singapore. So he's actually retired from the New York City real estate market. Yeah, so he's rented properties in New York City, Hawaii, and places like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and more towards the commercial side. So like maybe billion-dollar buildings.
Oh, wow.
They sell hotels, sell factories, like things like that. Yeah. So it was a bit stressful because he knows his stuff, basically. He knows his stuff. I can't fluff him. And of course, I don't fluff anybody. but still, he's a lot more assertive and he knows what he wants and what needs to be done. Right. And of course, there's a lot of, there were other issues around the house. The house itself nice, but across the road, there were 2 semi-Ds that were just sold. It had the just sold sign right in front of it. It's like facing our house.
So is the prime for rebuilding or is move-in semi-D?
It's prime for rebuilding. Yeah. So that's one thing. And the worst thing is the next door neighbor. The next door neighbor. So the terrace that is attached to this house is dilapidated like nobody's business. It was overgrown with shrubbery, and it looks like a ghost house, basically. Even though you have a nice house, your neighbor is like a haunted house. Yeah, so that turned away a lot of viewers as well. They were afraid of pests. They were afraid of ghosts. And of course, the next worry is that what if the house gets sold? It was not sold yet. But what if the house gets sold? Construction begins. Right, then it will be a huge nuisance to the tenant.
It will definitely cause some level impact to the tenant's enjoyment.
Yeah. So again, that's where the rental package that I suggested really helped, because they get to try for 1 year, see or not if the house gets sold. If it doesn't get sold, they extend again. All right. And I did the market research on the neighboring unit. It's actually been on the market for about 4 years. And they're asking for a ridiculous high price.
Well, if you're the neighbor watching, I don't have the QR code in this series, but you can always, we'd be happy to provide a proper pricing analysis.
Yes, and sir, your price is not ridiculous at all. We can try for you.
We will see where we can challenge. I think like all cases just like this, where we can challenge, we'll do it. Yeah, but of course, we also be realistic with some of the terms as well.
Yes. Yeah. Interestingly, I really hunted like high and low for information on this unit. And interestingly, even though it was not sold, but it was not being marketed on Property Guru either. Yeah. So in my opinion, all these information were actually assurances I gave to the tenant that unlikely that this house will be sold anytime soon.
And they believe, and they are convinced the same logic as well, right?
Yes. And to be fair to them, I added in a clause to say that if the house gets sold and construction begins, right, there could be an exit for them, exit option for them. And this at least gives them the assurance that they're not stuck in a lease and stuck with construction next door.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are really some ways you can frame your tenancy agreement. There is no default template for a tenancy agreement. All terms and conditions can be negotiated on.
So I'm just curious at this point, when you propose this term to the landlord, was there any concerns, like or how the discussion went?
So really similarly to what I told the tenant, I gave the same assurance to the landlord that it's very unlikely that this house is going to be sold anytime soon. It's not being marketed properly. It's the asking price is really high, right? So I don't know how they're going to sell it. If they sell it, And anyway, even after selling it, the approvals to get a house rebuilt,
that's right,
plan, getting approvals and all that kind of thing, I think you should be able to explain better. How long would it take?
It takes about a year. I think generally it is about a year to a year and a half if things move fast.
For full rebuild, right?
Yeah, I guess the only inconvenience in between is probably the soil test, which is for a plot size like this, probably maybe you're looking at marine area, so marine clay area, deeper dig. So about 3 to 4 days for soil test, and pretty much that's it. Because after you do your topo, your soil test and everything, the architect will have to go back, do the design back and forth with the authorities on the approval. Yeah. And after that, they have to do a series of tenders with contractors, builders, and everybody. Yeah. So it's not gonna be immediate. Like the moment it's sold and it's snap like that.
Yeah,
sound barrier up.
Yes, that's my thoughts exactly. Yeah, so I give the tenants and the landlord the assurance that no worries, this thing is just to give the tenants assurance. But even if the house is sold, it's gonna take a long time for approval. By then the tenancy will be over already. The landlord may have moved in.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Wow. So that's the thing, right? I think when it comes to the leasing side, just want to let you know that from this case alone, is we are not just messenger between the landlord as well as the tenant side. In everything, we always believe in a win-win solution, and ultimately is how we have done our homework to be on the ground, to be on all the database, to then be able to give the assurance to both landlord and tenant. Yeah. And more importantly, then, both parties are happy and agreeable that, hey, we're aligned. Yeah. If this condition happen, which unlikely, then this is what's going to happen. At least it gives the assurance. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe on the tenant side, we take one step back, right? Before this tenant actually come in for viewing, how was the marketing done?
So we did photo taking for the unit, virtual staging, as I mentioned. We did a walkthrough video. Of course, we also prepped the home. As in, when I say prep the home, I prep make sure everything's neat and tidy, is clean, because I always want the viewers to come and be able to imagine what it's like living there. Yeah.
That's nice. Yes. And so how do you do that without furnishing, right?
Yes, without furnishing.
Oh, wow.
So I prepare all the virtually staged photos on my tablet already. Right? And as we're walking through the home, I'm of course showing them that the furniture can go here, the furniture can go there. Yeah. Of course, it's best to fix all your lighting, all your ceiling fans and all that before the viewings. But sometimes we just need to get going, right? So all these things I would have prepared and already informed them, you know what, this ceiling fan is wonky, right? But the landlord already knows. We're going to fix it next week. Yeah, so this kind of assurance, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And in terms of the profile-wise, did you have a particular demographic or tenant profile that you were targeting? Yeah, like how can you take me through the process of how do you like break it down?
We were really targeting families who wanted to live in the area. And there is actually a very strong expat family demographic in this area. Yeah. So that was really who I was going for. And of course, we did get the New York realtor, although he was married to a Singaporean. Yeah, but it was that profile that we wanted.
Nice. And they have a little kid for school, or
They have
in this case?
3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, 3
That-
grown-up kids really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which explains why they are looking for a landlord as well.
Yes.
And we also noticed that most of the expats coming into Singapore, some of them, they are very, very used to staying in landed homes back in their hometown or, in another country where they used to work, right? So definitely space is one of the factors that be looking at.
Especially because they actually moved over from a condo, right? And the condo was, of course, getting too small for them. Yeah. I actually found out that from the husband that the wife really likes to cook. So during the viewing, I really upsold the kitchen. Of course, a landed home kitchen is so much bigger than a condo's kitchen, right? And furthermore, you have the yard, which the wife further transformed it into another outdoor kitchen.
Oh, nice.
So she really loves to cook.
I thought you were going to say the wife transformed into a herb garden.
Oh, no.
Because, some landed homes, I think it's wonderful. You have your own private herb garden.
Yeah.
That would be very nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, while you're sharing this profile, right, I can't help but to think that, ex-New York realtor coming in to see, right? Were there any challenge? Like, was he assessing you?
Well, I was very confident in that I always give my best service. But I, of course, was very open. Right? I already know I'm doing my best. So I did ask him, hey, from your perspective, from a New York perspective, is there anything that I could improve on?
Oh, nice.
Like
Well, cross-learning, right?
Yeah. But I'm not going to give out his hints. If you want, you can contact me directly.
Scan on the QR code once again, and you will find out the best practices that we have on ground so far. And, we are constantly learning and improving. So, as times go, we will always refine our operation. It's not going to be a cookie cutter approach when it comes to leasing. So do look out if you are ever thinking of looking to rent out your property. Yeah, this is Lucas here that you can find.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, in the end, I trust in order for him to sign the tenancy, he would be impressed with what you do.
Yes. I drafted out the tenancy agreement in accordance. Actually, I already knew kind of what he wanted. So when I drafted the tenancy agreement, he actually didn't make much changes. Yeah. Luckily, I knew what he wanted. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Oh, yeah. No. Okay, it was sitting on the back of my head for just now when you mentioned about aspect enclave, right? So a little bit of details, because D15 is somewhere that I focus on in terms of the landed investment side as well as the sales and purchase. If anybody is interested in this area, just know that, Halloween is a very interesting period. Yeah, a lot of aspects are there, right? So the whole town will be a Halloween town when it comes to October period. The last, my partner and I, we were at Franco, just walking around, looking at people, even the locals who are opening up their homes and giving sweets and balloons during Halloween.
And trick or treat?
Yeah, trick and treats. And I tell you, the best attire that I saw is this young boy with just a cloth drip over and a cloth pack behind.
A what?
Just a cloth, 2 holes, and a cloth pack. Best dress award.
Was he a ghost?
Yeah, it was a ghost. It was no effort,
classic
but
ghost.
yet so cute lah. Basically, it's just so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this speaks to the vibrancy of the community as well, and this is something that we will definitely share to whether you're a buyer or a tenant. Yeah. We know on the ground, and this is where we will share this with people as well. So maybe just to sum this up, we talk about the property as a whole, how we analyze how we analyze the property, how we plan to bring out the USP of it. We talk about the landlord side, understanding the situation of the landlord and how we can plan their timeline in a way that they get to rent out. But at the same time, in the future, if they have any changes, there's still some leeway to it as well. Then, of course, then the tenant side, giving them assurance. So maybe just to wrap up this portion here, right? What would be maybe a top 1 or 2 points or a take home that you say from this case?
Okay, from this specific case for landlords, if you've bought a home, even if it looks renovated, right, to still do a thorough test on all the appliances and all that. Yeah. And don't be too afraid to do the fixes first. Don't wait for the tenant to come in, then do the fix. Because once the tenant moves in, then arranging the timeline to fix that post-move-in is pretty intrusive for the tenant.
The logistics will be quite intense. I would assume.
It's actually easier to fix it beforehand. Yeah. And I mean, the cost of the fixes would definitely be less than leaving your home empty for 1 month. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? A lot of time, just because of the, I wouldn't say it's small amount as well, but the fixing this up, getting the home operationally ready, sounds like army, and ready to be viewed, will give a sense that, hey, if I'm a tenant, right, I will come in to see, okay, I don't have to deal with a lot of things, because back on my mind, I believe as a tenant, I already have to settle, other than my work, my family, I have to settle packing in my previous place.
Yeah.
And then after that, the last thing I want to do is to settle the repair side on the other hand. So I'll be really grateful if the landlord does that.
Yes. Yeah. And I think for the tenant side, if you are looking for a landed home and you're kind of looking for a negotiation tip, right? Of course, if you look out for which houses are sold or which houses are undergoing construction, it's actually a pretty strong argument to get a slightly cheaper rent. Of course, you are going to, you might have to endure a bit of noise, right? But you can come during the day to kind of experience for yourself, like whether or not it's tolerable for you. It could be a few doors down and it could not be that bad. Yeah.
And if you're a landlord watching this, just scan on the QR code, because if, let's say, by any chance you're at a juncture where, certain life changes is happening, or maybe just wondering if at this point of time, should you lease out your property or also sell the property, scan the QR code. We have Lucas here on the leasing side to be able to advise you what's the current market trend, as well as who's your postulated tenant. Yeah. And of course, I think if after the report, you think that, hey, maybe I should just let go of this landed property, then this is where, as a team, we are here to cover each other in terms of our expertise. And this is where I can come in to assist with the pricing analysis.
That's right.
Right. And so we come to the end. And if there's any questions, once again, feel free to contact us. And, we'll be showing more cases of Lease It in the future.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Alvin.
My name is Lucas.
Thanks for joining. See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.